Changing plans, we turned the Datsun into a dump bed. Not really. We did pull the bed off, pulled it back here just to see what we were dealing with between the cab and the bed, and this looks pretty bad, but we beat on it and beat on it. It's actually pretty solid. I don't think it'll be too tough of a repair. We're worried about all this. This is worse than we thought. As we found out before we pulled the bed off, this is partly why we pulled the bed off, to get some access. We cut all this out all in one chunk, what we could get to. Find some creative ways to cut out that. Our grinder won't get in close in this corner. Again, this inner rocker's bad. The body mount's bad. I'm gonna patch all this up in one piece. Well, two pieces, three pieces if you count the mount. We're gonna have to make a mount and the inner rocker and this back corner here. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Learning is always fun, huh? So, let's see what happens next. Surprisingly easy to take the bed off. Of course, we broke most of the bolts. So. Well, there's your problem. Went on a little fishing expedition just to see how much Bondo, and this thing was full of foam, and whatever this is, that's Bondo. Yeah, yikes. We welded a little tab on here to just stiffen this whole thing because this part was completely separated. Let's see, yeah. Make sure my fat finger is on camera. We tacked her here and then tacked this little strip on just to, and welded the support inside here just to stiffen all this up while we work on this inner part, which will be next. My plan for most of this is going to be pretty simple. We're just going to reinforce this probably from the inside. Maybe tack it and then fill this with JB weld. The bigger holes we can probably weld some metal in. And then on the outside we'll just put a reasonable amount of body filler. As far as this, my plan is I can buy the actual rocker panels. They're like $40. And it's funny, the only part I can buy for the truck, it's really not rusted. But since this is mostly the same shape, I'm going to use the rocker panel replacements to patch most of this and even into this. I'm pretty sure that we can wrap this around and weld it and ground it and get it pretty reasonable. It definitely won't be professional, but if we did everything professional on this truck that it needs, we'd have $300,000 in it. So I'm thinking we already have too much in it. But thank you, Nissan Motor Company, manufactured in 1981. interesting how they overlap this. And none of these joints are really welded. They're just this little pinch spot weld here and there. I guess they knew what they're doing, but what we're doing is going to be a lot more solider. And of course, we don't do it in Virginia the way they did it in Iowa. I mean, this whole thing from here back was full of this expanding foam. Oh, every day's an adventure. Oh well, y'all try to read your Bible today. Okay, probably the last little update on the floor and stuff with the Datsun for a while. Most of it will just be repeating what we've already done. See here, I cut out all these little rust holes, patched in a piece that's just tacked in. We'll smooth all that. And I made this, which is the inner rocker, which you can see will go in here. I made this little gusset just on the end on the vise, which is really easy. And it matches up with the way that's made. So this will butt weld. Well, my piece for the floor there in the way. You know, the best cameraman ever. So it'll go in just like that once we get everything cleaned up. And just like on the front. And not sure what we're going to do to the body mount there, but something similar like we did on the front. And this piece will be the floor for there, which most of it was localized anyway, but we cut out this huge hole, and we're going to get her welded in there. And this is on the outside, so most of this we'll worry about later. We've got to get the floor done so we can get this thing on the road. All right.